Now I'd like to invite Congressman Chris Smith of New Jersey. Congressman Smith has been a steadfast ally of Egypt's Coptic Christians and a longtime champion of human rights and a leading voice for international religious freedom, focusing on defending persecuted minorities. Congressman, welcome.
Thank you so very, very much, and what an honor it is to be here to join all of you in honoring the 21 martyrs who gave their lives and have inspired all of us ever since that infamous event 11 years ago. You know, quoting from the book of James, chapter 1, 27, a full year ago, October, His Holiness Pope Tawadros said, and I quote him in part, "Pure and undefiled religion before God and the Father is this, to visit orphans and widows in their trouble, and to keep oneself unspotted from the world." His Holiness singled out the amazing work of the Coptic orphans in that sermon, noting that it is very, very successful service. It helps in a number of areas, including in education. And he pointed out how so many scholarships had been gained and impressive progress had been made by the graduates. Coptic orphan leaders are indeed role models, have helped transform the lives, as was mentioned a moment ago, of over 100,000 children in Egypt, always radiating the love, compassion, and forgiveness of Jesus Christ, despite the dangers and the risks. The extraordinarily brave 21 remind us of the suffering and the death of our Lord himself and the Christian martyrs over the centuries who have been tortured and murdered for their faith. Matter of fact, the book that got me into working on religious persecution was by a Romanian, Pastor Richard Wurmbrand, called Torture for Christ. I read it in 1981, and I said, we have to do more. Congress, the executive branch, we have to do more to fight for those who are suffering all over the world, including in Egypt, as we saw with this terrible, terrible episode 11 years ago. We are challenged by their sacrifice, totally selfless. We honor them. We are in awe of their courage and their faith, and I would say, above all, their holiness. We honor their families and friends who have endured so much pain and agony and hardship with their loss 11 years ago. These are men who resisted and died just like St. Paul. As a lawmaker, I and other colleagues in the House and Senate and the White House strive to end religious persecution, so no matter how it manifests. Around the world today, religious persecution is festering and exploding. What has been unconscionable for decades and centuries has actually gotten far worse. According to Open Doors, their World Watch list, more than 380 million Christians suffer high levels of persecution and discrimination for their faith. We do have the International Religious Freedom Act of 1988. We also have its reiteration back in 2017 and expansion and other laws on the books. They are potent tools that the American government, the administration, and Congress have at our disposal to not only expose religious intolerance and bias with factual and aggressive reporting, but to sanction governments, organizations, and individuals for committing crimes against believers. We need to do more. We do have a president who cares deeply about religious persecution, and we need to really rally to make sure that we stand with the oppressed and not with the oppressors around the world. I want to express a special thanks to Jonathan Rooney, not only for his masterful portrayal of Jesus in The Chosen. My wife and I love watching that. There was one when he talked to the woman in the well, and she says, "I'm going to tell everybody." And he said, "I was counting on that." I didn't have the... I mean, he has so many great lines, so many of them right out of our Lord's mouth that he does so well. But I also want to thank him for his halo. What a great encouragement that is to all of us to listen to his prayers and admonishments, but also for his deep commitment to this important project of remembrance. Thank you.